Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new video. This week we are going to be looking at diet. Now we won't be going into the specifics of meals, we will cover that in a later video, but in this video what we're going to be mainly looking at is the meals and times of day that we should eat and the reasons why those meals are so important to our bodies and our mental health in order to function correctly. So let's kickstart things off in the most logical place, which is breakfast, the most important meal of the day. So the main reason why you should eat breakfast is obviously to kickstart your concentration and give your body some fuel and energy to be able to function throughout the day. Now, the other reason why breakfast is so important that not a lot of people realize is your metabolism. So what happens if you don't eat at breakfast time, you are more likely to eat more and binge more throughout the day. It's all about little and often. So you start off with your breakfast and you satisfy your hunger, and then that sees you through till lunchtime and so on. If you miss breakfast, you are more likely to eat more at lunchtime, but not only that, you would actually eat more than you would if you ate both meals individually. And the reason for this is the way that our body's metabolism works. So as you get hungry, you get more hungry than you would do if you broke the meals up into equal portions. So it's all about providing energy for the morning and kickstarting your metabolism. As I say, that basically covers breakfast. And not only that, but you're also providing the essential nutrients that you need throughout the day, and obviously in a long-term basis as well, because eating breakfast every day and eating the right things for breakfast is obviously going to make you a more healthy person overall. And that's really what you want, basically. You want to be, firing on all cylinders, and you want your body, your muscles and your digestive system and everything to be functioning in the correct way. And you're only going to achieve that through consistency. So that's eating the right things for breakfast every day, not missing breakfast, because then when you start missing breakfast and you start missing meals altogether, then that is when your digestive system and everything overall becomes more erratic. So for me, the first thing of this journey that I need to focus on is eating breakfast, because if I don't start there, that is like the foundation of everything, of this whole journey that I'm on, that I'm, seeking to become a better version of myself. It all starts with breakfast. And if we don't do that, then there's no point doing any of this, because my brain won't be firing all cylinders, my mental health will be shot, and everything will just fall to tatters before we've even got started. So as I say as well, with the metabolism side of things, it also helps with your weight management and reduces the likelihood of overeating later in the day, and curbs unhealthy snacking, such as chocolate bars and, crisps and things like that. Quick and easy things, because our body will be craving food. Whereas, like I say, you won't be craving as much if you hit those meals when you should: breakfast, lunch and dinner. Your body will, every time you get to the point of being hungry, the way it should be is it comes up to a mealtime. That is how the body clock should function. And it comes into all of this again of looking after yourself and making sure that you keep your body in the condition and time frame that it's supposed to be in. So, having your body clock, your body clock in the right place. So you wake up in the morning, you're hungry, you eat your breakfast, you're satisfied throughout the morning. Then probably mid-morning, you might feel like a healthy snack, such as an apple or a granola bar or something that's going to keep you going till lunchtime, but isn't going to add loads of calories on and loads of sugar levels, etc. And then you get to lunchtime, and that is when you have your lunch, and then that should keep you going throughout the afternoon, vice possibly another snack, and then you get through to dinner time. So it's all about keeping the body clock in time. And also, where the digestive system comes into things is you are supposed to wake up in the morning and need the toilet, and you know, in the nicest way possible, take a shit basically, pass your bowels or whatever, you know, stools, whatever the correct terminology is for it. So that is how your body should function. You should wake up in the morning and you should need a poo, and then that's your digestive system clearing out, ready for the new day. Now, when you skip breakfast, what happens is your energy levels will be lower. You'll feel sluggish, you'll feel tired. You probably won't feel like conversing with people, and you just won't be the best version of yourself at all. And you probably will feel like a bit of an idiot, because you're gonna, you know, miss out obvious opportunities. You're gonna, you know, things that you should pick up on. Say if there's an opportunity for you to help somebody, you know, or do the right thing, or do something at work that's going to improve your outlook on, you know, I don't know, a possible promotion or something to get you into a better position in your life overall. I think missing breakfast is going to affect you quite a lot in that respect, because you're just not going to be hitting your targets. You're not going to be picking up on those opportunities when they arise, and you are just going to be the worst version of yourself. There's really not a great way to start the day by missing breakfast. And you're going to miss out on those nutrients, and you're going to snack more. So you're going to just really be in the pits, really, all day. I mean, like I say, I can't stress enough that if you miss breakfast, picking it up at lunch isn't really going to help you very much at all, because you've already started the day badly. So there is no excuse. I hear a lot of people say, oh, I can't eat breakfast, or I don't like eating breakfast. There is no reason not to eat breakfast. You have to eat breakfast, because if you are having a rubbish day as a result of not eating breakfast, then you've only got yourself to blame, and you really aren't doing yourselves any favors in the long run. So, word to myself on this journey, there we go. There is our starting point, breakfast. So, as I say, in this video, I'm not really going to go much into detail about what I'm eating, but I will just touch basics, you know, of the nutrients that you should be taking in. So a balanced breakfast should include a combination of nutrients such as fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Examples include oats, whole grain bread, eggs, yogurt, and fruits. So that sort of paints a picture of the kind of things that you could have for breakfast. You know, you could have porridge, that's oats, or, you know, like oat bars and things if you're in a bit of a rush and you're one of these people who don't like eating breakfast. And, you know, there are ways that you can make breakfast easier if it's so much that you can't take the time out to have breakfast. Then you can take something with you. I've done that in the past when I used to commute long distances to work, like an hour. I just wanted to get out the door and get in the car and get going. So I used to take some oat bars or those Belvita biscuits and things. They're really nice, actually, and they really do go a long way to help you start the day right. Things like that, things that you can eat in the car while you're on the go, such as, you know, little snacks. And then obviously you've got the whole grain bread, so toast. You should really try and aim to eat whole grain bread or brown bread more than white bread. I'm guilty of eating white bread, so this is one thing to myself that I should really take in is that I need to stop eating so much white bread and switch over to brown bread or whole grain bread. You've got eggs here. So eggs is obviously your source of protein. So scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, once again, if you're on the go, that's a great idea. I've started doing it recently, preparing boiled eggs and putting them in the fridge and, you know, make up a batch and there's a snack, easy, ready to go. Quick, nice. So you don't always have to have scrambled eggs. Just there's so many different formats of eating eggs is great. Scrambled, omelette, poached, fried. Maybe try and stay away from the fried, but that's up to you. Then you got yogurt. So obviously so many different types of yogurt. Once again, you've got yogurt pots. I quite like the Onken ones. You've got the large Onken pots. They've got lots of different flavors: blueberry, cherry, peach, all different kinds. Strawberry as well. I saw today actually when I was doing my shopping. But my personal favorite is cherry. Can't get enough because you get the chunks of cherry and it's beautiful. So I'll have about 3 of those a week. That's what I've started doing as part of my ongoing healthy diet I'm trying to switch over to. And you've got fruits as well. So that kind of ties in together. You know, if you're having your yogurt and you've got these yogurts that have got real fruits in, then, you know, you're kind of hitting 2 with 1 there. So, but you can obviously prepare fruit. That's nice to do as well. Sometimes I like to prepare a fruit salad, but it's a lot of work and it's a lot of fruit and it's kind of not cost effective. But it is nice to obviously have, you know, some fruit. Just make sure that you actually, you know, if you're going to buy it, eat it, because otherwise that's kind of a double negative, because if you don't eat it, not only are you not getting the nutrients, but you're also throwing that money away. And you're going to feel rubbish about it because you're going to think, well, I've bought this stuff to help myself and now I'm throwing it away. And it's like, am I really doing this? Am I really into this? Because I'm not really. So just make sure, take little steps. Don't go out and, you know, buy a whole heap of fruit, mangoes and exotic fruits and then chuck it all in the fridge and then leave it to go bad because you haven't got the time to eat it. Just maybe, you know, one thing here, one thing there, batch of bananas or, you know, some apples. Don't buy loads of fruit because you're not going to really benefit yourself by eating a whole heap of fruit. And you're probably going to find that you're on the toilet a lot as well, because fruit does obviously improve your digestive system tenfold. So, yeah, there's really not much to gain from eating lots of fruit or buying lots of fruit that you're not going to eat. Okay, so that's basically it for breakfast. So we've covered the fact that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Eat the right things for breakfast and just make sure that you're doing it consistently, because obviously your digestive system needs that. It needs consistency. Not, I'm going to eat breakfast today, then I'm going to skip breakfast 2 days, and I'm going to eat breakfast and skip breakfast. Your metabolism is going to be all over the place and you're going to be eating and snacking more, and it's not going to do yourself any benefits. So start as you mean to go on. That goes for the day, the week, the month, year, your life. Okay, right. So lunch, second most important meal of the day. So where were we when we were going through the morning, and you've gone past your snack and you're getting to the point where, you know, probably about 11, half 11, starting to get a bit hungry. And then your body's telling you, okay, right, it's time to eat something, another meal to keep me going for the next part of the day. And the reason why lunch, I can't get my words out today. I did eat breakfast. The reason why lunch is so important is fuel and productivity. A nutritious lunch provides essential energy to power through the afternoon, preventing the common 3 p.m. slump. So you're going through the afternoon and you say you haven't had your lunch. You're going from breakfast and you started the day, right? And then you get to lunch and your body gets hungry. And then it's saying to you, let's go on the camera. Camera's going all over the place. There we go. your body's saying to you, okay, right, I'm starting to deplete of reserves, stomach's getting empty, fuel's running out, like a car, you know, your tank's running low, and now you are running out of performance fuel. So your body is going to require something to top it up to keep yourself firing on all cylinders. Otherwise, as the day goes on, you are obviously going to run out of energy. So we want to make sure, once again, that we're eating the right stuff and we're putting the right fuel into our body that's going to really get the best out of the rest of the day. So that is things like carbohydrates, protein, vegetables, and fruit. Simply put, wholemeal bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes for the carbohydrates, chicken, turkey, hard-boiled eggs, or lentils and chickpeas. 5-bean salad is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't tried 5-bean salad, I would definitely recommend it. It's one of my favourite snacks. The first time I had it, I couldn't believe it, because it's not even like you're eating vegetables or anything like that. It is so filling. It's as if you're eating meat. It's amazing, and it has such a great effect. It's full of protein, full of vitamins and minerals, natural, you know, goodness. You want to really be trying it. If you haven't tried it, make sure you do. It's underrated. Protein, you know, chicken, turkey, hard-boiled eggs, once again, it's brilliant, all good. If you're trying to bulk up, this is a great time of the day to get some extra protein in, you know, to help yourself get yourself ready for that gym session after work. Really, really make the most of it. Seize the opportunity. Vegetables and fruit, great way to feel good about yourself and to give your body what it needs, you know, get your blood cells and those vitamins and nutrients, once again. Good skin, good hair, good eyes, good teeth, sharp, you know, on the ball, brain, functioning, everything as it should be. That is what it's all about. When it comes to lunch, one thing I would say, and I cannot stress it enough, I've worked in the bus industry for quite a few years, and I see a lot of drivers, obviously where we work in the town, the bus station, they make a beeline for the fast food at lunchtimes. They go to KFC, Greggs, McDonald's, Burger King. And it's not just a one-off thing, which I can understand. If you have it once a week or once a fortnight, then great. You know, we all love a treat. You've got to treat yourself. As equally important as eating healthy is, you've got to make sure that you do treat yourself once in a while and have something that you enjoy, you know. But there's drivers that eat it every day. I never see them, you know, make their own lunch and bring it in. Never see them eating anything healthy, even shop bought stuff. It's always plonk down a bag of KFC, plonk back down a bag of McDonald's. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. Yeah. So I can't understand that, to be honest, why you would never ever eat anything healthy. And it's also the financial side of things. You're throwing your money away when you could be saving money. You could have more money, especially in times like this where we're trying to make our money go further, you know, fuel prices, energy prices. And with all due respect, can anyone really be affording to be throwing money away on food that's not going to make you any better in yourself with your health and your functionality? It really is a solution to something I really can't understand. I can't fathom why you would choose that. I mean, if it's time consuming, like I say, to make your own food, then go to a shop and buy something. Then, you know, like a pot of salad or something, a pot of, you know, pasta, maybe some hard-boiled eggs or something. They do sell them in the shop, so you can buy them ready-made. You know, you don't have to prepare them at home. There's so many other options besides eating fast food every day. And it's not good for you. It's not making you a better version of yourself. It's not making you function on all cylinders. If someone's asking you something, you're not going to give them the best response that you can. If you're trying to move up in your career, or you're trying to make yourself healthier, then you're not really going to do yourself any favors. It's not the way to start. So lunch obviously is very beneficial for your mental health and well-being, because you're taking a break away from work. You're having a rest. So besides the food that you're putting into your body, even just the activity of sitting down and eating lunch is a key part of the day, because you need that break. You need that brain break from whatever you're doing. Even if you're doing something for fun, say you're at Fort Park for the day, you as fun as it is going around the roller coasters all day, it's nice to sit down. You know, if you're with a group of friends and you sit down, you socialize, even at work, having that time to sit down and talk to other people is another key reason why lunch is so important. It is a key point of the day. Besides the eating part, it is just a key focal point of the day where you can socialize, you can get stuff off your chest. If you've got issues going on, you know, you can talk to someone at this time. You know, it is really just a time that is all about you, where you can focus on yourself and really replenish your inner being, your mental health. So lunch, key part of the day. And also, going back to the metabolism we were talking about with breakfast, lunch, once again, you want to hit that point, that steady point, and keep things on an even keel. Because as steady as your morning's been from breakfast, if you miss lunch, it could equally go the same way as not eating breakfast. You will dip down, and then you will spike up later in the day, in the evening, and you will be binging. And that's the worst time to binge as well, because you don't want to be eating loads of food before bed. So you don't want to be binging later on in the evening. And your digestive system's going to be all over the place, because your body's going to be trying to digest stuff more while you're in your sleep, which also isn't very good when you're laying down, etc. It's not really what you want to be doing at all. So make sure you eat your lunch. Make sure, you know, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Make sure you're hitting those 3 meals every day. And then it will help you to avoid that mindless snacking and binging. Physical health as well. Obviously, nutrients and vitamins. You know, keeping all of your features, your hair, your skin, your eyes, your bones, your heart, all of your organs, you know, your blood, keeping it all full of minerals, nutrients, everything that you need to be the best version of yourself. So that's lunch, as I say. Very important that we're eating the right stuff and that we are consistent every day, not just, you know, one day a week. Every single day of the week, got to be hitting these 3 meals: breakfast, lunch and dinner. Right, so besides the snack throughout the afternoon, because there's nothing wrong with having a snack if, you know, you get hungry. There's a long way between if you have your lunch at 12, 1 and you have your dinner at 5, 6. It's 5 or 6 hours, you know. So it's a long way. You're going to want to eat something, and there's plenty of options. Eggs, you know, some sort of chicken snack, fruit, vegetables. There's plenty of options out there what you could eat, you know, for a snack. There's nothing wrong with having a little snack. If you do get hungry, just don't overeat. Don't eat more than you need to. You don't need to get to that point where you are gut busted, because that's when you've eaten too much. When you get to that feeling of feeling stuffed, and you probably feel tired as well, then you know you've eaten too much, and you've probably eaten too much of the wrong stuff as well. So try and avoid getting to that point. You just need a bit to keep you going, so you don't get to rock bottom hungry and fatigued. You just want to keep yourself going. Keep that car topped up. You don't need to fill the tank up. Just keep enough to get you on your journey to the next meal, which is dinner. So dinner. Optimal nutrition. It is a vital opportunity to eat vegetables and protein, which many people miss earlier in the day. It's very true, because if you haven't had those key nutritional ingredients throughout the day, then dinner time is a time when you're going to hit all of them, because you picture a plate, you know, we've all seen it. You've got half a plate of vegetables, you've got a quarter of a plate of protein, and you've got a quarter of a plate of carbohydrates. So if you haven't had much vegetables throughout the day, now's your chance. You've got a whole half a plate of vegetables, you know, really go for it. And if you, you know, if you haven't had enough meat throughout the day, have a nice portion of meat, protein, fish, and carbohydrates. It's probably the least important there, but it's also important equally as much as the rest, because I'd say it's least important because obviously you're coming towards the end of the day. Carbohydrates are most important at breakfast and lunchtime, because that's getting you through the day, it's giving you the energy. And dinner time, obviously, you're coming towards bedtime anyway, but you still want to keep the energy. But then it all comes back again to the whole metabolism, which is why I made that point there, because it is important. Even though you might not think you need the carbohydrates, you do, because if you don't eat there, you're going to come around to breakfast and you're going to crave more carbohydrates because you've been short of carbohydrates the night before. So it all ties in. It's all relevant. All about keeping it consistent and equal in each meal so that we don't spike. You keep a even keel. So carbohydrates, protein, you know, it's a great time. Get your protein levels up, especially like me, if you're trying to bulk up at the gym and you're trying to, you know, you want extra protein for extra muscle. The thing I will say about protein, point I do want to make, is that you can have too much protein. If you are not going to the gym, you're not just going to build muscle just by eating protein. So if you are eating more protein, then make sure that you are doing what you need to do, and you're going to the gym and you're lifting weights or whatever, and you're doing whatever training you're doing on your body. Because if you just eat protein on its own, protein turns to fat like any other fat, and you will just naturally become overweight. So it's very important that you don't fall into the misconception that you're just going to eat protein and you're going to become more stocky and muscular, because you are just going to become fat. So make sure you go to the gym. If not, then just make sure you stick to, you know, the recommended amounts of protein that you're supposed to have, the average person is supposed to have, and that's enough. That's all you need for protein. Vegetables. The great thing about vegetables is that it doesn't matter how many you eat, you can never eat too much. Now there's a special thing with vegetables. I forget what it's called, but it all comes down to the feeling. If you eat a lot of vegetables, you feel a different kind of full to what you do when you eat something else. If you eat a plate full of chips, you feel rubbish. You feel like absolute trash if you eat a whole, you know, big bowl of chips. Or if you eat a massive steak, it's not so bad, but you get that feeling where your stomach feels like it's going to rip open. Like, I'm so full, I'm stuffed, and you probably feel tired as well. Whereas when you eat vegetables, it gives you something like it's like a little spark. It almost, rather than makes you feel tired and fatigued, it makes you feel sharp, makes you feel ready. And it's all about what it gives off from what you're eating, obviously what is in vegetables, and it basically has a positive effect on you, as well as the long-term effects of all those vitamins and nutrients and minerals. It also has this short-term effect where you feel more energized, you feel better about yourself because you've eaten something good, and you've eaten a lot of it. You're automatically going to feel happier. So vegetables are great, absolutely brilliant. And like I say, it doesn't matter how many you eat, you're not going to feel rubbish. You're going to feel good. And it's all round goodness, digestive, heart, blood, health in general. Then after dinner, you've got three options. You can either have a healthy snack, have a dessert, or just have nothing and call it a day for eating. Now, I can understand personally, I find it quite difficult not to have some sort of dessert. I get a real sweet tooth in the evening before bed. So something like cheesecake or ice cream is right up on top of the list for me. Or even like a little pack of chocolates or something like Maltesers or something like that. Because the way I see it is, it's all fair and well to be healthy, and that's what we want to be doing predominantly. But then again, we've also got to think about our mental health as well. And there's nothing to say that we can't have a little treat, just in moderation. We're not here to be completely strict with ourselves and, completely crush our inner spirit. Because like I say, it's just as important that we look after our mental health as it is we look after our physical health. Just make sure that, if you have some sort of cake, you have the guideline amount, one slice. If a cake can be split up into eighths, that's 1/8. Or things like ice cream, the recommended amount of scoops. Or you could decide to be healthy. There is a lot of fruit options, or even mix it up, fruit and ice cream. There's all kinds of options. But what it all comes down to is moderation. That is the most important thing. And like I said before, it all comes down to that thing of making yourself feel better as well. If you have that self-control, then it goes beyond that meal, because we are a figure of our actions. So if you want to be more, self-controlled and not so impulsive, then the best way to do that is through your food. Because food is the root of everything. It is who we are. It is, what we eat is who we are, how we eat it. So if you can, control your diet, then you will be able to control more aspects of your life. If you're consistent with how you eat your food, you will be consistent in general. This is probably the greatest piece of advice anyone's ever given me, because your food is the root of everything you do and how you eat. If you have a terrible diet, then chances are you're just going to have a terrible lifestyle. And if you eat terrible food, then chances are your actions will be terrible. It all kind of makes sense when you think about it, because you can't be somebody if you haven't got the right ingredients, the right tools to be that person in the first place. And that is what food is. So there we go. That's basically a wrap for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. If you've got any ideas or any feedback to give, I really want to hear it. So please make sure you drop a message. And if you've got any ideas for any future videos, then please let me know. Let me know what's working for you and what's not working for you. And until the next video, have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.